Ayahuasca is an inner intelligence, and AI is an external intelligence. And I'm exploiting consciousness from both directions. There's a lot of healing and self work being done in the background, and the kind of change that comes quietly but comes deeply and really changes you permanently. It's not about the hallucinations, it's strictly about the healing. It's about the messages from God. I enrolled myself into an AI program. The world is changing faster than we're emotionally ready for. Some people come into your life to awaken parts of you that were never meant to stay asleep. This year, I didn't disappear. I went inward. Wow, guys. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Life Unfiltered. It's been a minute. I've been a little bit MIA this year. And let me just explain, it was intentional, but there was a lot of healing and self-work being done in the background. The kind of work and the kind of change that comes quietly but comes deeply and really changes you permanently. And that's what I've been doing for a little while now. So what kind of change, you might be wondering? Let's unpack. Why did I go inwards? Here's the truth about me. I'm not the kind of person who can sit still. I always feel like I'm doing things, I'm strategizing, I'm overworking, I'm over-traveling. And yes, over-traveling is really a thing. You should ask me and you should ask people around me. Sitting still makes me feel unproductive. Gabor Mate, I listened to a podcast recently, and he would probably say that I'm constantly trying to prove my worth. And this behavior is deep-rooted into my childhood, which, to be honest, is probably very true. Now, I could sit here and give myself a therapy session. I don't know if any of you guys want that, but instead, what I'd rather do is tell you a little bit of the kind of therapy I've been receiving. Okay, let's start by talking about plant medicine. As some of you might already know, I'm a huge advocate of plant medicine. Anything from psilocybin, ayahuasca, mucura, even cannabis, the beautiful plant of cacao, functional mushrooms like lion's mane and reishi. The list goes on. This is just naming a few, but the world of plant medicine is vast. And lucky for all of you guys, I'll be producing a series on it. So what is ayahuasca? I don't know. I don't even know where to start with that question because, one, I'm a big fan and a huge lover of ayahuasca. But traditionally, if we're going to go back into where it actually came from, ayahuasca comes from the Amazon. And it's known for inducing deep introspection and emotional release. During one of my retreats, which was actually in the Amazon itself, I learned that this plant is used not only to heal trauma, it's used to prevent it. So how do we do that? Or how did they do that? So traditionally, women take it before and during childbirth so that they don't pass on their trauma and their lineage trauma into the child. How incredible is that? And like I said, the benefits of ayahuasca, the list is endless. The science behind the list is endless. Ayahuasca contains DMT and MAO inhibitors. Together, they take you into a deep altered state. Studies like that of Johns Hopkins and so many more show that psilocybin can reduce depression, PTSD, increase emotional processing, and create long-term personality shifts. That's probably why I am the way that I am, because ayahuasca helped me. Jokes aside, a dear friend of mine, the CEO of Phantom Life, and actually a pioneer of this conversation, I'll share a link to Sebastian Vaughn's research and his LinkedIn page as well, because he has some incredible information about plants and the history of plants and how it's helping people. But in a quote that he said, in an interview that he had with BBC recently, I quote, 75% of pharmaceutical medicines originate from plants. Now let's just hold that for a second. 75% of medicine being prescribed right now by pharmaceuticals originate from plants. I'll give you a brief glimpse into my experience. However, I'm not going to go as deep because you're going to have to listen to the series in order for you to understand and to really get a glimpse of what my experience was like. However, it's never been about the visuals. It's not about the hallucinations. It's strictly about the healing. It's about the messages from God, about the inner realizations. And most of what you see or hear is actually your inner knowing. So what this medicine does is it brings up things that you actually already kind of know. And maybe the truth has been buried so deep into your subconscious that you have either forgotten or pushed it aside. In my retreats, I faced deep inner trauma. I had intense emotional releases. I saw patterns from not only myself, but the female lineage in my family. So this is ancestral karma, ancestral trauma that comes out in the experience. And sometimes the pain isn't even ours. The pain that we're carrying comes from someone or something that's happened in generations or in past lifetimes. Trauma, as some of you know, can be passed epigenetically. And as you know, research shows that stress markers crossing generations. And I felt that. I felt like I was grieving things I never even lived, but somehow it lived inside of me. However, the biggest shift this year, and actually the most unexpected, was me stepping into something that I've always told myself I wasn't good at. Yep, I actually do say things I'm not good at, believe it or not. I have had this narrative in my life that I am not good at technology. And this has been my mantra since I don't even know how long. So every time I'm in a new job or I'm in a new career or I'm talking to people, that is the one thing I say, that technology is just not my thing. So what did I do? I enrolled myself into an AI program because something in that world made me feel uncomfortable. And if I'm in this whole space in life where I'm trying to break my discomfort, I'm trying to go beyond my comfort zone, well, what better way to do that than to enroll in a technology course? And I pretty much thought that if I'm working on myself, isn't this something that I should be talking about? Isn't this part of my story? Isn't this something that I should rewrite, a narrative that I should change? The world is changing faster than we're emotionally ready for. AI is projected to contribute $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. Over 70% of companies are now integrating AI into all of their operations. I mean, you go for an interview and I'm pretty sure, I haven't been for one in a long time, but I'm pretty sure that the younger generation, the first question they're being asked is, how savvy are you with AI? AI for them is like day to day. My sister once told me, who has a very high position in MasterCard, she told me that if you're not using AI during interviews and at work, then I judge you. So where does that leave me? If this is the direction the world is going, then the same way we're all searching for deeper spiritual connection, why am I being left behind? If this is the direction the world is going, then I don't want to be left behind. And in the same way that if I am growing myself spiritually, well, then I need to be growing myself in other ways. And AI is one of them. I really needed to prove to myself that I could do hard things. This is what I keep hearing. What are you doing? What are the hard things that you are overcoming? What are the hard things that you're doing? So it's not just about going internal and doing the hard things there. It's also saying, okay, what is external? What am I finding hard in the outside world that I also need to work on? And I have to say, this was probably by far one of the most interesting courses I've ever done. And here's what I say. The same way I think everyone should experience plant medicine at least once in their life. I'm not telling you what to do. It's just what I really believe in my heart. But in the same way, I think everyone needs to dive deeper into the world of AI. So people might ask, how do you go from plant medicine and inner work to artificial intelligence? Well, to me, it's actually the same thing. Let me explain. Ayahuasca is an inner intelligence, and AI is an external intelligence. And I'm exploiting consciousness from both directions. You can't just think of your inside and forget the outside, and in the same way, you can't just think of the outside and forget the inside. We're moving into a world of human plus machine collaboration. The future isn't choosing one, it's integrating both. The most powerful people in the next generation, in the next decade, won't be the most technical. They won't also be the most spiritual. They'll be ones who understand both human behavior and technology. And if that's the way the world is going, that's the direction I want to be going. I don't do AI because I wanted a new career or I wanted to, make better Instagram posts. I did it because I didn't want to stay the same. And that, at the core, is also why I believe in plant medicine. Never staying the same. Okay, so now let's get into something a little bit more vulnerable, because this wouldn't be Life Unfiltered if I didn't talk about myself and something that made me feel even more uncomfortable than AI. So I've experienced a level of love in this lifetime that has literally broken me open and rebuilt me at the same time. Not a fantasy, not perfect, just deeply, deeply challenging. I don't fully understand it yet. I'm not even trying to understand it yet. I'm trying to surrender to the whole process. But I do know this, that some people come into your life to awaken parts of you that were never meant to stay asleep. The journey with both my twin flame and soulmate is the most emotionally draining and yet spiritually enlightening path I could ever have imagined. And before we go on, let me say that again. If you are experiencing a twin flame or a soulmate journey, you understand that can be challenging, it can be painful, it can be peace and turmoil, it can be happiness and crushing tears at the same time, love and intense pain, all wrapped up in two beautiful humans that have literally come in, stepped on my heart to awaken my soul. And that might sound so unreasonable and unreal, and it's so hard to explain, but I'll say it again, stepped on my heart to awaken my soul. And there's so many ways for the soul to be awakened, be it through love, be it through healing, be it through trauma, be it through your experiences, your childhood. All of these paths lead to one place, the awakening of the soul. And that's the journey that I've been on. Okay, let's take a breath and forget about all the emotional stuff for a second. I've also been doing a lot of work on my physical self. As you know, I'm a fitness professional. You didn't really think that I'd forget about my body, did you? Let's talk about peptides. So what are they? Now, I have to put a disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional and this is not any kind of medical information. This is just research purposes only. So, what are peptides? They're short-chain amino acids that act as signaling molecules in the body. And what are they being used for right now? I mean, if you're not on social media and you have not read anything about peptides, you're really missing out. Everything from recovery, from skin health, from fat loss, from metabolism, from cellular repair, longevity. I mean, if you can think of it, there's a peptide out there for it. The biohacking and longevity industry is projected to exceed $600 billion globally. I mean, $600 billion. Unbelievable. There's a real shift between living longer and living better. And peptides are the next wave of how we're going to be seeing people living longer. We're entering an era where people aren't just accepting aging. They're actively redesigning it. The world of peptides is absolutely fascinating, and I've been experimenting. I have been experimenting a lot, and I will tell you more about it in the coming episodes. I've been learning, I've been researching, I've been digging really deep into the subject, and I'll be sharing my journey openly. And more importantly, I will be getting guests on this podcast, doctors, biohackers, and practitioners. This year, I didn't disappear. I went inward. I challenged myself. I broke patterns, and I stepped into things that really, really scared me. I did the hard things. And if you're in a season of growth, if you're in a season of change, of expansion, please keep going. It's worth it. The pain, the fear, all of that will get you to where you want to be. I'm still doing the work. I'm still becoming. And I'm taking all of you guys, every single one of you, with me. So if you're interested in this journey, if you're interested in any of this information, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I will be sharing so much incredible information over the next few episodes. And if you know anyone who's interested in peptides, in plant medicine, and generally in healing, please share this episode with them.